Hey, I'm live. What do you know? And I'm here with a bunny rabbit. This is one of them. I have a whole bunch of them. And yeah, I'm a little kid when it comes down to Easter. I love Easter. It's a fun time of year for children for sure. And I'm basically a kid at heart. So look at how cute he looks with his ears and everything. I have all kinds of Easter stuff. It came from the way I grew up. I grew up that way. And now I'm waiting to see if anybody comes on. I'm going to tell them about Clear and Xenu. So it should be a good talk. But I'm not going to talk until people come. So I'll wait for a minute. Interesting. All right, I could read some more of my SP Declare. That's a good one too. Okay, so I already read the first paragraph of it. This is my SP Declare, just so you know. Hey, there we go. Hi, you guys. Good. All right, I guess I won't read my SP Declare. I was going to read it. I thought, well, maybe you're not coming. I'll read my SP Declare. Hey, hi, thanks for coming by. This is my day thing. I do the Midnight with Magoo, but, I thought, well, there's some guys that they can't see it because it's too late at night. So I'm trying to figure out a time when it's not overlapping with other people doing their live streams. But anyway, I'm giving it a shot. Here we go. It's 5:30 here, 5:37. And hello to all of you. Thank you for coming on. This is fun. This is Girly Ghost. That's cute. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Monica. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, you guys are very nice. It's fun to have all you guys. Patrick Skinner. I think I know you from somewhere, Patrick Skinner. Certainly I know your name from maybe, now what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. Okay, there we go. I got rid of it. There's some kind of thing. I can't go up to the top. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, good. So Layla, hello. She was the first person that came on. Cassie, Farah, Teresa, Flatliners, Kelly Patton, Monica Cook. Good evening. All right, so it's evening for you. Hey, I caught you live. I know. I figured I'll do different times, so different people can get on. Hi, Tori. Read it. You read it. Oh, you read my SP Declare? Okay. Well, anyway, what I've been doing with my Midnight with Magoo is I'm kind of going over Keeping Scientology Working. I read that last night. That was on there. And then tonight and yesterday, I started out reading what are the traits of a suppressive person? Because, you hear about it all the time. We're SPs and this and that, but okay, what does that mean? What in their minds, what are they thinking? So I'm kind of reading that, but that's Midnight with Magoo. So I'm not doing that in the day also. Excuse me, pardon me. So today, what I'm going to talk about are clears, and does a clear know about Xenu? Because you guys have probably heard about Xenu and you've heard about clears. But a lot of people think everybody in Scientology knows about Xenu. And if you don't know about Xenu, he's the evil warlord that arrived that you don't find out about. Scientology is like a triangle, like I always say. And only the top quarter or 1/3, not even that, probably 1/8 know about Xenu. And the rest, all the rest, Sea Org, everything else, all the public, they don't. And if they've heard about it, they are sent immediately to ethics, and the ethics officer goes, "Come on, do you believe everything you say? What, you read it on the internet? Okay, no, it has." And when I was in, they just lied to their teeth. I had to take someone in session and say, "No, that's not true," and I knew it was. It was really awkward. It really was. Okay, that's me, Patrick Skinner. Good. All right, Jojo Granum. Cool. Nikki. Okay. All right. I was one of the posters on ARS. All right. Thank you for letting me know that. I love that because that was really a different time, wasn't it? Isn't it amazing to have this live streaming now? I just love it. It's so different. ARS was very linear for anybody who wasn't on it. Like now we have websites and stuff like that, but ARS was linear and it was just one topic after another. And OSA's view was if we can drive it down the page onto the second page, nobody will read it. It's kind of true when you think about it. I mean, you really often don't read the whole page and then onto a second page of something. Some people do, but most people no. So that was their goal, was to get it spammed down there. Now, I didn't know this. They got me to open up the phony accounts, which I've told you guys about. And then Bill Yachty was doing all the work on it with some other people. They wouldn't tell me what they were doing because he said, they'll get you in deposition. They're really evil people and you don't want to be in deposition. I was like, no. So he said, so I just won't tell you. And then you won't know. You can honestly say, I don't know. I have no idea what they were doing. Hello from Colorado and moving to Florida. Oh, my sympathies, Valerie. Oh, I hate Florida. But you, good luck on it. It's very, you might be moving to a different part of Florida. I moved to around Clearwater and super humid. That's the main thing I hate about it. I left Chicago for that because it's so hot. It's so hot and sticky. I'm glad you're around and healthy. Florida, I'm sorry, Valerie. See, I feel the same. You know, it's like, God, you couldn't pay me to move to Florida again. Plus, there were a lot of racist people. I was shocked. I really was. I had never been around racist people. And I didn't think, the first time it happened, I honestly, this is a true story. This guy knocked on my door. I opened the door. We just bought this house in Largo, which is right next to Clearwater. And he goes, these people are moving in on this block. And he said a really nasty word that I'm not even going to say. And I looked at him and I went like this. Is this candid camera? I mean, I honestly thought it was. I thought nobody's going to possibly come to your house and say that kind of shit. And he goes, no, I'm dead serious. And I said, all right, then I'm dead serious. Get the hell off my lawn and don't ever come back on it again. Period. But I didn't get along with them too well because a lot of them are racist and I didn't like that. It was just like I didn't want my son around it. The kids were very racist. It's icky. It wasn't a good place to live. So that's me. And this was in the 1979. So it's a long time ago. So maybe it's changed. I don't know. I just saw your hate page on Religious Freedom Watch. I know. So ask me any questions you want on that because they have all kinds of stuff and they're all flat out lies. But I'm happy to talk about them if you want to ask me something. I don't mind because they lie through their teeth all the time. Greetings from hot and sticky Clearwater. Ooh, I'm so sorry for you. But apparently, I mean, tons of people are moving there, including Scientologists. So, okay. Oh, unfortunately, there are some people who are like that, but thankfully it's not everywhere. It's not everywhere. Okay, well, that's good. Jacksonville, my daughter and grandkids live. Well, that's good. I agree with that. If you get to live near your kids and your grandkids, I would take anything to do that. So I'm with you on that. What does it say? Moose on the loose. Hey, from New Orleans. That is a good name for you. Moose on the loose. Finally caught alive. Love what you're doing. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't really like the Florida politics and I'm queer. I don't like that name queer. I don't. I mean, to me, because I grew up, that was like a really bad word that we never use just because it really is invalidative. I think it's still, for me, it's like icky because it's sort of like, I know it's like different people use different words. So anyway, I'm sorry. That's my own thing because I would never call someone that, but I'm going to say you're gay. That makes me happier. I love gay people. So there you go. Queer, I just think is very derogatory. And I grew up with my parents saying, we're not using any derogatory terms, nor are you hanging around with people that do. If they do, they're out. That's it. And I finally met, I didn't meet her personally, but I heard her, Oprah's best friend, and I always say her name wrong. I forgot it. Now I forgot it. But anyway, she has a Sunday brunch. And she said, everybody's invited. But if you make any derogatory jokes or put downs, you're out. That's it. And there's no discussion. There's no like, oh, I didn't mean that, or I meant something different. It's like, you do it, you're out. And I thought, Maya D'Angelo, that's her name. Anyway, she's very cool. She passed away recently, but I really liked her. Okay, the stuff Religious Freedom Watch said about all the ex-members is just so over the top. I know, it's funny. Now they say I'm an undercover CIA agent. I mean, they don't have that on Religious Freedom Watch because the CIA would probably come after them and go, "What the fuck are you talking about? We don't even know this woman." I had a hate page for years on that site. Oh, okay. Well, good for you. Hey, Tori, great to see you from PDX. I don't know what PDX is, so fill me in on that. Keep up the great work, Tori, Tori, and it's Tory, Brandon. Get it straight. One of these days, I'm going to get everybody to say my name right. Anyway, at least you can say my name. Hey, I'm catching a live. You are. Mama's live. Good. All right. And hi, Marina. Valerie, I listened to the Mormon podcast stories, and they're similar to Scientology. Every cult is. It was a shock to me to go to a cult conference and find out. I would run into these people after they would tell me these stories, and I'd say, "You were in a Sea Org, right?" And they go, "No, Church of Christ," or something else. It was like all these different cults, but the stories are so similar. It's really freaky. Okay, let's see. But the cult experts do say the two worst ones are the Moonies and Scientology because they build traps in your head where you can't talk or think or look. Okay, so this is from Jojo. I was an activist too. Me and Greg. Oh, Haglund, that's right. Used to protest in Toronto, Oregon. Yep. Well, I'm non-binary and that. Okay. Gail King. No, it wasn't Gail King. It was Maya D'Angelo. I think it's D'Angelo. I think that's it. But Gail is a good friend of hers. You're right. But that wasn't the person I'm talking about as far as the Sunday brunches. Okay, so Sins of Scientology coming soon. Ooh, this sounds good. Hi, Tori. Love your candor and love your channel. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the Sins of Scientology. That's the funny thing. Like I say, do they believe in Easter? Like Easter is a religious holiday, believe it or not. It never was for me or my family. I mean, we were raised Catholic, so we went to mass and stuff like that, which is why it was really funny when the police came over and said Scientology is having their mass, and I said Scientology doesn't have mass. Mass is a Catholic service. They don't have mass. They don't have any service. They have a phony Sunday service that I helped create in Clearwater, Florida in 1979 to prove that we were a religion. That was it. So they don't have mass. It really pissed me off. And I'm going to keep talking about it too, because you know what? It's not right to say that you're having mass, a 6-hour mass from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. Sure. And let's see if we can find any mass on the planet that is 6 hours long. Not going to happen. That's because they're liars. Hi, Tori. Love your. Okay, so you already said that. All right. Patrick Skinner. Hi. Yes, queer was a negative meaning and used to put people down. And it was used to put people down when I was little, so we never said it. Love you, CIA agent Tori. I know. I'm so excited. I have my new title. I'm not sure if you remember Keith Henson. Of course I do. I just saw him like a year ago. Used to protest with them. Yeah, good. Yeah, I saw him about a year ago. We went to his birthday party. Nowadays, they say queer as a matter of pride. I know. I'm just saying, for people like me, it was so drilled into us to never use derogatory terms. So it just isn't something I'm comfortable saying. I'm not. Okay, so flatline is. What do you think of the OSA Twitter pages making videos about the squirrels with false narratives, calling everyone William Good's gang? Okay, first of all, when Twitter arrived, someone made a Twitter account for me, but I'm not on Twitter. I never have been. I feel like it's just a total, bad news thing, where there's just people attacking people. They're not really there to help each other. What's the point? And so there, of course, there's Scientology. And if everyone that wasn't really part of it just went, all right, we're out. You know what I mean? don't answer it. Like Jesse said, step away from the stove, because it's just creepy stuff that Scientology is doing. Or the other thing I would do if I was on Twitter, if they put that there a picture of me and blah, 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 whatever, and their shit, I would just put underneath it, thank you, Church of Scientology, every time. Thank you, Church of Scientology. Thank you, Church of Scientology. And they don't want to be known as that. They don't. So they would probably start twisting things around. And it's interesting to use their name on their things. Like I told you guys, I don't know if you guys were on it, but I told the Midnight with Magoo, years ago, Anonymous arrived, right, in 2008. And we did the 9,000 people protest around the world. And then OSA managed to weasel in with Anonymous, and supposedly Anonymous was flooding my computer with all kinds of shit. And I was getting phone calls that were like death threats. So I've got death threats, shit on my computer. It's just a mess, right? And I knew it was them. I knew it was. But, okay, how do I stop this? I mean, it was awful. It was just going and going and going, and all this hatred. And I thought, you know what? I know how to handle this. And I made a video. I turned on my webcam and I said, whether you are some young kid in your parents' basement or you are the Church of Scientology, either this stops immediately at 4 o'clock, or I am personally going to call the FBI. And believe me on this, they will find out who you are. And it ended like that. It's just like, end of story. All the flooding went, the calls stopped. That was it, right? And I thought that proves it's the Church of Scientology, because I know Anonymous. If you would say something like that to them, they would have been 1,000 more. It would have been on for 5 days. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's just one of those things. But I forget how I got onto that. What do you think of the Twitter page? Okay, you asked me about that. Hi, Tori, longtime fan. All right. Adam. Yeah, I remember your name. Magoo, Tori Magoo. Cue James Bond theme music. Dun, 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 dun. Truly. Sometimes I feel that way. Arizona Traveler. Okay, Tori, is there a way to find out of people to see what and Sea Org? You mean SEA, Sea Org? Or do you mean C? I don't know. You say Sea Org, a friend of mine went missing 2 years ago. The cops aren't really doing anything. She is an nemesis for missing this person. I have no idea. I have the same thing with my friend who got me in Scientology, John Hildebrand. And I ask all the time, does anybody know John Hildebrand? He's an attorney. He was teaching down in San Diego, and then he vanished. And it's the same thing. I don't know. And the cops don't care. It's like, unless it's somebody getting killed or something, they're not going to be on it, because there's no story behind it. Do you know what I mean? And there's no real reason for them that they know of to go after. And I don't know either. I would just keep posting around the net, different places, her name, her photograph. Does anybody know her? Have they seen her? That's what I would do. If I, like John, I'm not looking for him. Do you know what I mean? I just started mentioning it, and I thought, all right, each time I make a video, I'll mention it. You never know. Somebody might, it's a small world. It really is 6 degrees of separation. So people can run into people. Hey, Tori, PDX is the airline code for Portland, Oregon. Okay, PDX. All right. Helps to distinguish from Portland, Maine. Okay. Good to know. All right. I'm not saying I'll remember it, but it's good to know for now. Thank you for telling me. I might remember it. All right. It's the Portland code. Okay. Saying she loved everyone and she wouldn't be able to talk to anyone for a while, and in the past she talked about Scientology. Maybe she joined the Sea Org. It could be. She could be in the Sea Org. And you could ask them, if I thought somebody that I loved was in Scientology, I'd go knock on their door. I'd say, look, my name's so-and-so, and I'm looking for so-and-so, and are they part of your group? And I would just, if they said no, and they shut the door, I'd just keep going to different buildings. And I'd say, look, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the senior person that's here. and because I need to find my friend and just know that she's okay. That's all. And if you don't want to handle it, I would get to an executive, and then I'd say, here's the deal. You can either help me and let me know my friend is fine, she's in the Sea Org or she's in Scientology, you know she's fine, or do nothing, and then I'm going to get the media on it because I am really sick and tired of you people not answering me. And that's all I'm asking. Is she or isn't she? Yes or no? That's it. It's like sometimes you have to get hardcore with these people, and then they don't like legal. I'll tell you that. They don't. I wouldn't sue them because they've got, Hubbard said, get them in court, keep them in court, bankrupt them. So my thing is like, stay out of court with them. They have too much money. All right. I love your channel. Thank you, Arizona Traveler. All right. Let's see. Cats Blast and Flowers. Wow. Now that's an interesting name. I've heard lots about you. Happy to finally find you in person. Hello from Dundas, Ontario, Canada. Dundas. Okay. Canada. I love Canada. That's a pretty place. So enjoy it. All right. Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. It's kind of a difficult nickname to remember, but you won't forget it. Cats, bats. Oh, I see. It's cats, bats, and flowers. Okay. So you must like cats and bats and flowers, I think. Anyway, Ascended Warriors, this is not live, right? Yeah, no, it's live. This is live. This is absolutely live. Scientology's having a mass, and we're all out here having a big hearty laugh. Exactly. They're not having a mass well, yeah, they probably are saying they're having a mass every day. So maybe they are. It's not, well, no, it's after 3. Remember, their mass only goes till 3:00. So they already ended their mass, but they're still full of shit. You'd remember me if I gave you a name I used on ARS, but I stayed up with you in LA and showed you Big Blue and all that area. It was crazy. Okay. That I'll give you a maybe on that. That's a long time ago. A lot of stuff has happened in my life since then. So in your life too, I'm sure. So maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But I don't want you to take it personally if I don't, because as everyone knows, I don't remember different things. I'm pretty good with long-term memory things, but anyway. Back then there was so much stuff going on, I have no idea. It's like that was a different time. It really was. There was so much stuff going on for me because I put my name and phone number up on the internet and said Magoo left the building. That was it. It was like that was my announcement. Magoo left the building. If you're a Scientologist and you're going to try to get me back in, forget it. If you're a friend and you want to talk to me, send it to Andreas and he'll send it to me because I figured he could weed out who's lying, who isn't, right? And nobody ever called me, ever. No. It was just like, they're really chicken shits. And they don't believe in communication. They can say it, they can sell it, they can do all the shit they want. But the truth is, you can't fucking talk to me. And that right there proves Harold Bazazian and all of your OT8 friends, you are not OT8. You can't be. And don't say it's because I'm suppressive. Oh, Tori's suppressive. And that's why we can't talk to her. No, I'm not suppressive. Harold Bazazian, Al Rabisi, Bill Yachty, you guys all know I'm not suppressive. You know it. And the more every day that I speak, I think you lying son of a bitches, because you are supporting that organization. Bob Minton, I was lying about Bob Minton when I was in because I bought it. And they said, oh, he's a multimillionaire. He'd paid by the psych. So I was passing that on. Now I wake up and leave and I think, I'm with Bob. He paid the ticket to get me out of here. And he's with Stacy and Jesse. And I think, I got to tell him. So I said, look, I'm really sorry, but I did pass on a bunch of lies about you. I didn't know. I was in the church and I believed it. And he goes, you think that's it? That's it, Tori? You think that's going to do it? That's not going to do it. He goes, I don't care what you did in the church. You supported that organization for 30 years. And all the shit that they did, whether you knew it or not, you helped keep it going. And that's how I feel about Harold Bazazian, the Rabisis, Bill Yachty, any of the people that are, excuse me, still in, you guys are holding up this abusive organization, and they're doing shit. You're kind of going, I don't really know, I don't. And I don't want to lose my friends. Your friends are all out here. That's what I'm trying to tell people. All the friends that I thought were in are out. The people, the rest of them died. So it's either they're dead or they're out, except for those people I just named. That's it. It's amazing. It's amazing. But Hubbard was really good at scaring people. All right. So anyway, that's my rant for today. And I still haven't gotten to my topic. Let's see. You'd remember me. Okay, that's right. All right. Love your channel, Tori. I'm serious. Surely OT3 Scientologists encounter mention of Xenu. Do they just ignore them? I'll get to that, but remind me again if I don't get to it. And their service is not open to the public. That's right. It is not. Ascended Warriors, this is very much live. Thank you. Thank you for amending that. And if you haven't liked it, look at that. No, we're about 20 off. It's 138 people are here, though. That's cool. And 104 likes. So come on, the rest of you that didn't click the like button, it takes 1 second to just go up there and go like. And there you go. All right. So thank you. So please, if you haven't liked it, like it. And if you don't like it, you need to tell me. Tell me why. Tell me what. And don't say, oh, I don't want to waste my time. No, you were here. I was here. Either like it or tell me why. That's it. All right. So cats, bats, and flowers. Easter is the most significant and oldest of all Christian celebrations. Without Easter, Christianity would not exist. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I never thought of that. I don't ever think of Easter as religious because, I left the Christian church, the Catholic Church years ago when I was, I think, 13. And this priest said, Jesus Christ died for your sins. And I sat there and I thought, this guy has made me wrong every Sunday for years. And I just thought, that's it. No, any God that I believe in would not talk to me that way and be a God. That's it. That's all there is to it. And that was it. I walked out. I was done with the Catholic Church. 13, done. And I kind of believe there's a God of some sort, higher powers, something, but I'm very much like an agnostic, or we'll see. But in the meantime, I respect people that do believe in it. That's fine with me. Even Scientology. You want to believe in Scientology? I'm fine with it. I had to rest that and realize I don't care. If they want to believe in Xenu, that's okay. If they want to believe in Clear, that's okay. If they want to, just be part of that church and the group, that's okay. They can't do the human rights abuses and have me shut up. Mm-mm. And I told Mike Rinder that when I was out and he was in, he was still the PR. And I said, look, Mike, there are way more people than you or I knew. And you need to come out here and talk to them. And at the time, he was still in part of the Sea Org. But it was one of those things where it was shocking to me to find out how many people were against the church. Like I told these guys, we were sitting with maybe 10 people, doing that protest the other night. And I said, I want you guys to understand something. They point out you all and go, that's the only amount of people that are against us, Tori. That's it. And I'm like, really? Because you think, well, it must be a bunch of people. And they go, that's it. Look at them. It's 10 people. That's it. Now, every one of the 10 people had 1,000 to 2,000 people on their cell phone, on their, just like you guys, there's like a lot of people, that in it, and you multiply it and it's thousands and thousands of people. And there were many thousands of people, that were actually out protesting and stuff. Anyway, it was just interesting to look at it. Hi, Tori. Glad to see you live. Thank you. Crazy week lady. All right. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see you live and I like all your hearts and stars. Okay. Jojo, we did pickets rather than actual protests. picket, protest, whatever you call it. To me, they were both the same. They're exposing the abuses of the Church of Scientology. Whatever name you want to call it, that's my opinion on it. OSA will do that crap. Yep, they will. You know exactly how to scare them. I do. Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Well, I do too, believe it or not. That sounds so much like OSA Anonymous takes it like a challenge. Oh, that sounds so much like OSA Anonymous takes it like a challenge. You think that sounds like OSA? I think it's true. I mean, OSA, Anonymous, you say to them, you can't do it. Really? I mean, I'm the same way. You tell me you can't do it, I'm there, 10 times. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Hey, Tori, love your energy so much. You and Laura should make a song. I don't sing, but yeah, she's a good singer. Swim Mom. Hi, Tori. All right, cute. That's very cute. Jojo Graham or Granum. Easter is actually a pagan holiday. Okay, here we go. Round and round and round. This isn't a discussion on religion. I'm just saying they really don't respect religion. And I don't care. If they do an Easter egg hunt, I'm fine with that. I think kids should be able to enjoy Easter and Easter bunnies and Easter eggs and candy and stuff like that. That's me. I don't care. It isn't their business. I don't think it's children's business to worry about are they hypocrites or not. It's not going to sink in. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, these people are really, whatever. I just don't think so. You never ran into your ex-husband while you were picketing? Never. Not once. Not one time. I've never run into him ever. And I've never run into any Scientologists except Phyllis Berker and her daughter. And her daughter, when I first left and I I forget, I was in Hollywood and I saw Denise Duff is her name. She's an actress. And she went like this, like, it's Tori. And then she turned around and her mother obviously said she's declared. And she turned around and gave me this really dirty look. And neither one of them would talk to me. And they were like really good friends of mine. I was like, oh. And now I found out Phyllis died. It was really sad. A lot of Scientologists died. It's very, very sad. Because well, I do, but I'm not going to get into it. You never, hi, Tori, here from Kent, England. All right. Charlotte Everett. Way to go. Enjoy England. That sounds cool. You know what my favorite movie is? The Holiday. And it's about England. And I think it might be somewhere around Kent, I think. Anyway, it's a really good movie. I love it. Okay, all Christians. Okay, I'm not going to get into the Christian thing again. Did your ex-husband ever leave Scientology? I'm of America. I apologize, but I just don't want to get into is a Christian or this. It's like that's not what this channel is about. It's about Scientology and exposing the abuses. Did your ex-husband ever leave Scientology? No, he's in. He's OT8. I've said that. He remarried. He's in. I'm of American descent, and I was sad to find out he was a Scientologist. Bazazian, right? That's his name, Harold Bazazian. And his parents were in since 1950. They're both dead, and he's still in. And, the ironic thing is I was always the true believer. I was there. Whatever they needed, I was there to do it. Harold, no, I don't have time for it. I'm working. I used to think he's not even really a Scientologist. He only really did the bridge because his mother paid for the whole bridge all the way up. That's it. I don't think he would have ever done it. And I feel bad for him because he probably would have had a better life without that. And I feel sad about that. But anyway, don't get me sad. That's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but I don't want to start crying. Valerie Watkins, to the poster that is looking for the missing friend, if you can post their name, birth date, if you have it, and last known city, I may be able to help you locate them. See, there you go, Valerie Watkins. So the lady who's looking for someone, send Valerie Watkins that information. You can just click on her name and then send her that stuff. That's great, Valerie. Thank you. Okay, Ellie, why did your husband leave Scientology why didn't he? Because, how can I say? I don't know. He won't talk to me. So I can't say, why did you leave with me? By the time I left, you have to understand how 007 this was. I mean, I was in a top secret mafia. I wake up. These people that are declared suppressives, I mean, like the most evil people on the planet, in my mind, the evilest person on the planet helps me, Andreas. So now I'm like, wait a minute. And these guys are getting, the top secret mafia are getting super weird, super mafia like, super like, Jesus, this isn't what I got into Scientology to do, right? And here's Andreas helping me on the internet. So it's sort of like, whew, talk about weird. So now I wake up and I got to get out of here, Andreas. And he goes, all right. And I've told this story. Stacy says, we'll fly you to Clearwater. I forgot what you were saying. The poster. No, that's the other thing. Why did your husband? Okay, so I'm thinking, because he was never really a true believer, right? So I'm thinking, cinch. I just have to go there, make sure, or go here, there, because they're over on this side in Clearwater. I have to make sure they're not really with OSA, because I don't know. Maybe they're just fake people, just like we were. I'm opening these phony accounts and all this other stuff, and I thought maybe they're just fake people too. Yeah, I knew they were real people like Stacy and Jesse. I knew Jesse used to run the church with Miscavige. So I knew he was a real person, and I knew Stacy was real. Bob was a multimillionaire. I had no idea, what's the facts on that. So I figured I'll fly there and find out what are the facts and then come back and get Harold. That was my plan. And by the time I got back, Harold was gone. I mean, it was like white as a sheet, just gone. And he was like, you left me. I said, I didn't leave you. I left the cult. And, I thought it'd be kind of a simple thing, but it wasn't. And the rest is history. So there you go. All right. So now that's why he didn't leave. He's still in it for whatever reason. It's kind of hard for me to believe, too. Good afternoon, Tori Magoo. Thank you. Blow Drill. Hi. Good to see you. That's one of my old buddies. All right. Stephen Events. That Xenu silhouette on the wall? Where do you see the... Oh, you see a Xenu silhouette? Oh, maybe this is... I don't know what that is. I think it's my security guard. See the security guard over here, this guy? That's my security guard. And I think that's a reflection of him there, I think. But I have all kinds of different bears and stuff like that. So one of them is guarding me. That's what it is. Okay, so Jojo remembers Andreas. I know. Thank goodness. Blow drill, attention. Magoo left the building. That's right. I did. That's what I posted. Magoo left the building. And then I put my phone number and said, don't call me unless you're leaving too. I thought a lot of them would leave. I was really shocked. I mean, it's kind of surprising because you can't really talk to each other if you're thinking of leaving. You can never say that. So in my mind, a couple of people, and I won't say who, but I thought, cinch, these guys are going to leave with me. So when I made the post, I thought they're going to call me up and go, I'm there, babe, let's go. And it was the exact opposite. I met with one of my best friends and I said, she said, what is going on with you? And I said, I'm leaving the church. And she said, okay, listen to me carefully. If you never say anything, I might still talk to you. And I said, and you listen to me very carefully. You are the biggest mouth in LA. And I am the second biggest mouth per OSA. That's what they told me, because that's a whole different story. But anyway, I know I talk a lot. So I said, for you to tell me never to talk, I'm out. Have a good life. Good luck. Peace out. And I walked out. That was it. And that was one of my best friends. And then Phyllis was another friend. She died. It's sad to see what happens to Scientologists and that they don't fucking wake up. It's like, how many people have to die before you go, you know what? I'm out of this stupid cult. My brother used to call me and say that. He'd go, Tori, listen to me carefully. You and I are 1 year apart. I know one person who's dead. Every time I talk to you, another one of your friends is dead. And that's true. And it made me think, do you know what I mean? That's like those little seeds that I say, just plant a seed. You don't have to like smash them in the face with a frying pan. You just plant a little seed and another seed and another seed. And then, things start growing. They do inside their head. You'd be surprised. It's amazing. Anyway, all right. So, thank you, Blow Drill, for reminding me of that. That's good. He loved that. Magoo left the building. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for reminding us. That's right. I think you can still type it in and see it. I think on Google. I think it's still there. I know you can type in Magoo dancing in Boston. That video is there. And that's a great video Mark Bunker made that I thought he was making of Bob and Stacy. And it turned out he was making it of me. I didn't know that, but he's got some funny videos. And now that he's not the city councilman anymore, the good news is he's going to start posting videos. And he's got some great videos. I mean, he really does. Okay, so Justice says, did any day pass in your life that you didn't talk about Scientology? From the first day, of course. Probably not. Probably not, honestly. Because, no, I spent quite a few years where I wasn't really talking about Scientology when I was a full-time mother. And we flew to Philadelphia and worked with Dr. Glenn Doman and did the whole Doman program. And, I was just a full-time mom. That was it for 5 years. I think I might have talked about Scientology a little bit, but not much, really, because I wasn't into it. That's why that lady was always writing me up, because I was doing the Doman program. And I said, she doesn't even know what it is. I'm teaching my son to read. I'm teaching him math. He runs 2 miles a day and he's 2 years old. It's like he knows the name of every single president and information about them. That's because I'm teaching him. So she can go to hell. I don't know who she is, and I still feel that way about her. It's like somebody that, because she brought it up after I left Scientology. I went to Aida's party and she starts bitching about me, going, she did this and she did this Delman program. And I said, I cannot believe I am out of Scientology and you are still nattering about me. It was just like, go away, woman. Anyway, Bob Minton, I definitely remember Stacy and Jesse. Yeah, me too. They were very memorable people. Bob, unfortunately, died in Ireland. Love the earrings, Tori. Hey, Chi. Hi. Thank you. I was just telling someone you're going to send me some fun stuff. Blow drill. Ooh, that's good. I like that. All right. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down button. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me to hit the thumbs down button. But if you do like it, hit the thumbs up button. And you can also donate. That's a thing that's I didn't really understand this, but someone taught me yesterday a little bit more about it. And it's you have to go to the main page of Tori Magoo 44. And then right under my name, it says for more information about Tori. And if you go there, DOA put in Cash Apps and starts with a P. What is it? What is it? It's Cash Apps and why can't I remember these things? This is a thing everyone uses, but I can't remember it. I don't know why. I think because I've never really understood how to use it. PayPal. That's it. PayPal. I never understood how to use it, so I didn't. Because before you had to send $1, and I kept trying to send $1 and it never worked. So then I thought, okay, I'm not going to use this. Cat Daddy and KKS and Kitty Cat Spankler are all here, Tori. Well, okay. All right. Good to know. Cat Daddy, KKS, and Kitty Cat Spankler. Well, all right. Welcome. All right. Come on, people. You know what to do. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me check. All right. We're almost there. 174 are here, and we have 171 likes. So thank you. Hit the like button. Thank you. Hello, all. From Shag Nasty. Wow, that's a good name. Jesus is God. All right, God wouldn't talk to you like that. Yet the lies and abuses by Scientology was good. No, I never said the lies were good. I said I was in a Truman Show, which I think a lot of people who are in religions are in their own Truman Show, where they cannot see anything else but what they see. And that's right. And I'm not saying it's wrong for you. I'm just saying when I was in the show, it seemed right. Just like what the show that you're in seems right for you. And, if that's offensive, I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel. Flow drill. I mocked up my reactive mind and I'm not going to do it anymore. Yes, the clear drill. Okay, so I've got to get back to that because I said I would talk about that and I forgot about it. Thank you. Thank you, Flow drill. All right, so the subject for today is Scientology clear. Do they know about Xenu? Now, what do you guys think? I'm curious. Do you think that they know about Xenu? Do you think a clear knows about Xenu? Do you even know what a clear is? A clear, well, first of all, let's roll back a little bit before that. L. Ron Hubbard puts in your mind that you have a reactive mind and an analytical mind, right? The analytical mind is like a computer. It's just, storing stuff. The reactive mind is the one where you get pinched and you go, ow, right? That's part of your reactive mind. That's his thing, pain and unconsciousness. Okay, so he said you could erase your reactive mind with Dianetics ending up being clear, right? And clear was now your reactive mind is gone. What Blow Drill said is exactly the clear cognition, which they don't tell you. It's top secret. Nobody could ever say it. But it's like I created my own reactive mind and I'm not going to do it anymore. I just realized, even if you just say, wow, I just realized, I think I've just created all this stuff. Okay, would you like to attest to clear? And you're like, are you serious? This is clear? It's shocking. At least it was for me. It was really shocking. It's like, my clear thing only happened because of Arthur Hubbard, who's one of L. Ron Hubbard's sons. And he had taken me out to lunch. And I had already said to Debbie Mace, I can't go clear. And she said, why not? And I said, because I have epilepsy. And I always went by the original definition of perfect memory, a perfect IQ, no somatics, no pains. Well, basically, there's no one that I've ever met that has that definition. But they just kept changing the definition. So then people could slide in and go, okay, that works for me. None of it worked for me. But Arthur Hubbard heard my story and I said, I don't know, I read 3 chapters out of Dianetics when I was in college and I had a fight with my dad, packed my bags and hitchhiked from Chicago to Asho. And he goes, you're a last lifetime clear. And I'd never heard that word. Like now people have heard it a lot, so it's no big deal. But back then, I'd never even heard that term. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, you were working with my dad back when he was doing research. You went clear. That's what happened. And all of a sudden, this whole story comes into view and I'm clear, right? So I tested to clear. But that's what happened to me. But do clears know about Xenu? Absolutely not. Not at all. And that's the other thing. Remember, it's a triangle. The only people that know about Xenu know about it are this very top. The rest of them, nothing. The Sea Org know nothing about it, mostly because they promise them the bridge, but they give them mostly nothing. And even if they get anything, it's like sec checking, which is, what kind of bad deeds have you done today? And what things are you not telling us? And that kind of shit. They don't really get the bridge like they're promised. And no, they don't know about Xenu. And most people in Scientology don't. Now, they may have poked around the internet and seen the word, but I promise you, I can't promise you because I've been out for 24 years, so maybe it's changed. But I'm pretty sure because it's a big money maker for the church. It costs a lot of money to do OT3, which is where you find out about Xenu. So I'm pretty sure, and Blow Drill, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure even to this day, what we used to do is they'd send the person to ethics. If they said, I heard this word Xenu, they'd send you to ethics and they'd put you in session and they'd say, look, you don't really believe everything you hear, do you? Well, someone told me OT3 is all about this Xenu, the evil warlord. And you'd go, oh, come on, do I look like I'm going to believe in, space aliens and stuff? And they'd go, no. And you'd say, exactly. So that'd be that, right? That was the handling back then. Now, what they're doing now, I don't really know because Xenu is all over the place. It's on TV stations. There's comedians joking about it. So I don't really know. I'd be curious. We've got to find somebody that newly comes out and find out, But most, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, all right, so let's go on. So anyway, but just to finish my topic, so clears, no, they don't know about Xeno. You have to then go on to OT1. You have to pay for it. You have to buy it. And remember, there's Sea Org or there's Sea Org. I always get these mixed up. Sea Org is, right, this is Sea, right. Isn't it weird? All right, you'll just have to go along with me. One of them is Sea Org, one of them is public. The Sea Org guys generally aren't doing the bridge. Not really. They're working, they're creating the church so that people, and it's not a church, it's a cult, but you don't know that when you're in it. But they're creating the environment so that the public, these people that are public, that are paying, can keep going up the bridge. Now, why would these people keep working and slaving away? Because they feel and they're told and they believe they're helping planet Earth. They're making these clears. All these people are moving up the bridge, making the world a better place. And soon they will be too. That's what they're told. That doesn't really happen, but that's what they're told. And so anyway, there you go. And Blow Drill, if you have anything to add to it, please do. In the meantime, believe in the flying spaghetti monsters and legally wear a colander on your head for driver's license pictures. Now that is funny. Okay, all right. Now let's see. Kim says, if I write you a question before a question, yeah, it'll get my attention, definitely. Yeah, put question. All right. So also CD and Anon Can are here. All right. Anon Can, I remember that name from a long time ago. Oh, Alonzo. Oh my God. Wow. Welcome, you guys. I'm happy you came over to my site. I am. Mike Rinder still has an awesome mind. Okay, this isn't about Mike Rinder. This is about clears and Xenu. And that's what it's about. Do clears know about Xenu? And that's the topic of the day. So I'm saying from everyone I know and my experience, I knew nothing about Xenu. Nothing. And then they go, well, of course I had epilepsy and I go clear. So you would think, well, I don't have epilepsy anymore, right? But they went, no, you have to do up through OT3 at least. And everyone comes around and kind of circles you that are your friends and like, oh yeah, you definitely got to do OT3. You're going to love it. It will really be the solution for you, Tori. And you're like, really? And they're like, oh yeah, definitely. So you do OT1, which is very weird. It's to this day, I don't really know what it is. It's sort of like go out to the bus station and look around at a bunch of people. That's what I remember about OT1. It was like nothing, right? And so I went, okay, I think I can attest to this. I think I don't even know what it was, but whatever, I attested to it. Then you have to pay for and go on to OT2. And OT2 is this whole thing of like white, black, right, wrong, up, down. Everything is opposites. And you're just reading through a list of opposites, and my meter is going like, whoa, which means there's a lot of something on it. And I'm just like kind of in between the meter and reading this list and going, God, there's a lot of charge on these opposite poles. I have no idea to this day what that really meant because they never explain it and you don't know. But I think I just got sick of it and said, okay, I'm done. And my needle floated. Okay, I'm done. So I tested OT2. And everyone was saying, you got to get on to 3 anyway. It was sort of like, no one says, oh, you got to do OT1 or 2, because they're all kind of hokey things. So now you get on to OT3. And I think I've told most of the people this, but anyway, now they have a big course that they have where you have to go through it because they have to iron out this shit. It's like some of the volcanoes Hubbard said were there. They're not there, right? So they have to do this little thing to get people grooved in so they can hear about Xenu. But that wasn't the case in my day. In my day, they threw me in a closet. They didn't have a course room. And they said, here's the pack. And now you have to get For years, people have been telling me, you have to do OT3, Tori. This will really help you. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So now I'm in the closet. I open up the folder. And L. Ron Hubbard is writing about how he nearly died doing this research. And my first thought is like, well, I nearly died having the first seizure at 18, grand mal seizure. I thought, well, that's sort of similar. Okay, now I flip it open and he goes, 75 million years ago, there was this evil warlord named Xenu and the whole bullshit thing. And I'm like, you can't be serious. You just can't be serious. This can't possibly be OT3. Excuse me. And I just was like, no way, it can't. This can't be it, right? But then all of a sudden, and I've talked to other people who had kind of similar stuff where somehow you put it together for you, right? And for me, I have epilepsy. And no neurologist to this day that I've ever talked to knows what causes a grand mal seizure. They don't know. They have kind of, maybe it's this, maybe you hit your head, different things, but they don't know for sure. So now I think, this is it. I'm covered with BTs and clusters. And that's what's causing the seizures. And if I get rid of them, I'll be done with epilepsy. And then I can go back in the Sea Org. Because remember, Hubbard had written me a letter when they routed me out of the Sea Org saying, look, handle epilepsy and we'll see out the line. Like get rid of epilepsy and then you can come back. That was it. So my whole goal was to go back into the Sea Org, even though my husband had said, forget it. We're never going back. We're not going back in the Sea Org. You're not going back. I'm not going in. No. But anyway, now I burst out crying because I think, oh my God, this is it. This is finally going to help me, right? And the supervisor comes in and she goes, is everything okay? No, I said, no, these are good tears. This is good. I'm ready. And so I start auditing and I am thinking, and this is truly, truly shows you, if you believe in something enough, it can truly change how you are, not permanently, but for a short time. And I believed every time I got rid of one of these body thetans, which are like spirits, and somehow you had to do some kind of little, I can't even remember it, but you had to get them to go away. And once they'd go away, I think, I'm one less closer to being rid of epilepsy, right? And people would come up to me, I swear to God, and they would say, Tori, we have never, ever, ever seen anyone with such gains as you're having on OT3. And I don't think they were saying it to everybody because I've talked to other people and they've said, no, some of them were there and they said, I was physically changing. I'd finish the session. I'd look in the mirror and I'd think, oh my God, I look different. I was just like looking younger and younger. Now this doesn't really happen, just so you know, for OT3. So you have to hang with me to the end of the story because it doesn't really work. But I thought it worked. So I'm having these huge wins. I finally attest OT3. So now I think, who needs the medicine, right? I don't need it. I got rid of the cause, right? So I stopped taking the medicine. And thank God, I have a few things where I saved my life. And this was one of them, where I went into what's called status epilepticus, which is multiple grand mal seizures. It's not one, it's multiple. And I knew this guy, Jerry Hall, who lived in Largo, and he was like a guy making frames for pictures. And I really liked him, and I knew he was on the fence. I knew it. He was sort of like almost leaving, not really doing anything active with the church, out with his business and stuff like that. And this is all subconscious, but all very, very quick. But I just didn't call Jerry. I didn't want to call anybody in the church because I knew, just like Lisa McPherson, even though this was before her, but I knew they would drive me a million miles to some Scientology doctor and I wouldn't make it. And sure enough, I called Jerry. I said, Jerry, get over here. That's all I remember. And the next thing I know, I come to and I'm in a hospital room with all these, electrodes on me and everything. And these doctors say 5 more minutes and you would have been dead. And I was like, wow. And that was the last time. I had already been back on my medicine. I just tried to get off it because of OT3. I thought, well, maybe this is it. Wrong. So anyway, luckily I called Jerry, because if I'd called a Scientologist, I would have been like Lisa. I would have been dead. And that's a true story. So they're creepy with the medical abuse. And I'm a person, I always say to people, if you ever need a testimony, I'm here, baby. Anyway, so there you go. So now I forgot how I got up onto that. Oh, for me with OT3. So that was OT3. And then, of course, it doesn't work. So now what? They said, well, I go in and you feel horrible. This happens to everyone. Clear. Now, whatever you thought you were clear of, it comes back. And so then they send you to the registrar, and the registrar says, well, you need OT1. OT1 doesn't work. You need OT2. It's just like, it's an endless fucking thing of nightmares. So now I do OT3. I nearly die. I take a little time off because I'm like, I'm not really jumping to do something else. And we moved back to LA. We were living there. We moved back to LA. And my mother-in-law, I get a call from David Light, who is a reg at Flag. And he goes, Tori, I've got some great news for you. And I said, really? What's that? And he goes, your mother-in-law has paid for Harold's OT4 through 8, which is a big chunk of money. And, when you think about it, we could have bought a house with it, and we would have had a whole different life. But that didn't happen. She was a Scientologist. She gave half of our inheritance to Flag. And so I did what they call a half acknowledgement, which is like, okay, it's sort of like, okay, that's sort of good, but not great. And he goes, let me call you right back. And then he called me right back and he goes, all right, yours is paid for too. So she gave all of our inheritance to Flag. So she could see our wins. That's what she said. I want to see your wins while I'm alive. So that's what happened. There you go. So anyway, now let me just check and see if there's any other questions. And please put question if you have one. Finally made it here. Yeah. Marizy. Cool. Linky Lou. Hello, Tori. Hello. Mawa's life. I'm going to protest next week for the first time. What can I say to get their attention? Well, generally they're not out there, first of all. At least this is my experience in LA. They don't let anybody out anymore. So just protest. Bring a sign. The best thing is to bring a sign, because then people that are driving by, you can say Scientology is a cult, or I have Scientology Stop Hurting Families, or you can have honk if you think Scientology is a cult. That's always fun because there's tons of people that honk. It's really shocking. But as far as saying to them, I mean, my thing, if I ever get to talk to them, which is never, but if you did, I would say, look, you guys say you believe in free speech. So what's the deal? You can never talk to me. What's up? It's a very simple thing, but it's a fact. They can't talk to us. They're not allowed to, because it's a high crime to talk to a suppressive person. But a lot of these people, I mean, you probably aren't even declared suppressive. So you could just say, I'm not even a suppressive. I'm just speaking out against. They're not going to talk to you. But if they did, you could just say, I'm speaking out against the abuses of your church, which are breaking up families, stopping free speech, fair game, medical abuse, stuff like that, fraud, money fraud. They have money for a lot of people like me, where they owe us money per the tech. Hubbard said, if they don't want to do it, give them their money back, get rid of them. Will they? Hell no. Miscavige is like, I'm not giving back a dime. I got my money back, but that's because I got on it right when I left. Hey, Miss Tori, fight the good fight. Salute. Thank you. Thank you. That's CSW1. Okay, sorry, I was watching from my TV, and from there one cannot like the video. Oh, okay, so don't give up hope when you see 1,000 people watching, but only a few hundred likes. That's good to know, but now it's way up above it. Now there's 182 people here and 217 likes, so that's good. But thank you for letting me know that. I didn't really realize you could watch it on TV. That's kind of funny. Tori, my hero, I love it when you say picket. Right. Is that weird? Picket? Well, we used to picket. I guess so. I mean, now I guess they say protest. But anyway, you still need a computer, a laptop, or a desktop, Mac, or PC, how to get you, how to get to you. Um, I absolutely need a laptop or a desktop or both. I mean, right now I'm on an old desktop. It's very old. So I would say just a laptop. Even if somebody had a used laptop, it'd probably be way better than anything I have. And what Jessica said, Jessica Palmadessa, is on YouTube. And she has an address that you can send it to her. Or the other thing you can do, I saw on Whole Foods, is you can send it to Whole Foods on Olive, which is only a couple of blocks away. So right now I think I have it checked off to um, well, anyway, I think Jessica signed it up so you can send it to her and then it'll come to me. I love it when you say pick it. It's so funny. Is that like a really weird thing? It's like I always say grass, and people say, no, it's weed. You have to say weed. Everyone educated me the other night on 420. I love that. Boy, everybody knew what it was. Wow. I agree with everything you say on Easter and other holidays. Let the kids be kids. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that because these guys are going to do this whole picket with all kinds of weird shit, and it's just like I said, count me out. No, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I really believe children should, it's a small window where you're a kid. You know what I mean? And you can really enjoy it. And I had a wonderful childhood. I really did. And part of it was Easter egg hunts and stuff like that. But we had a great, they're wonderful memories. And I think I would never take those away from a young kid. Now I get some of these kids are ex-Sea Org, they grew up in the cult, and so they're kind of pissed off because they don't have those memories, right? So they're probably thinking, fuck it, let's just help these kids get out. But no one's going to leave at that age. So if anything, I think you could help them have a better childhood than you did. That's what I think. I have a sign on my wall that when you come out of the bathroom, it says it's never too late to have a happy childhood, because I think it's true. And I did have a happy childhood, but if I didn't, I would start changing my memories so that so I did have a happy childhood. Anyway, that's me. I'm crazy. Okay, you think they closed the Toronto org down? Really? Otherwise, I'd go back and pick it. Wow. Well, you can certainly call there, call information and see if they have, or look online, the Toronto org, and see if they have a phone number. Eric, hey, Tori, hello from Kamloops, Canada. Wow, okie doke, hello. I'm sorry you lost your husband. Thank you, thank you very much. I know you know how that feels, and it's, the weird thing is, I actually thought it'd be easier to have him die. People who've lost their loved ones in death. It's way better than having them disconnect from you. It's just, disconnection is just awful. It really is. Because it's like they won't talk to you ever. They can't. I don't know. Harold, if you hear this, come on. You and Yachty and Rabisis, get your asses over here. I'll get Spanky here. We'll have a party. It's like, come on. Nobody will know. All these guys will know, but we won't tell anybody else. It'll be top secret. Honestly, I mean, I'm amazed. I remember when I was really a true believer, and John Dries left, and Vicky Dries was my best friend. She was another girlfriend of mine, and her husband left. And I said to Vicky, let's go out and talk to him. We got to find out why he left. No, 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 no. We can't talk to him. So now I do wake up and I do leave and escape across the country. I'm there for about a month, come back. First thing I call, John Dries. Hey, John, it's Tori. Give me a call, right? Will he call me? Hell no. He wouldn't call me. You know why? Because he thought I was trying to get him back in Scientology. It was just too funny. It was like, oh, Scientologists are nuts. Thank God, Blow Drill, you and I are out. I mean it. I'm not sorry that I lost him. Now that I hear how he's really changed, and that's okay with me. He can stay and be a Scientologist and be a Republican, and it's like, it's not my trip. No. an anti-vaxxer, and it's like, nah, that's not my trip. Andreas is awesome. He is. He was a person I wanted to marry. I really did until I found out he was gay. I was like, okay, I guess that's not going to work. I didn't really think I was going to marry him, but he was. I loved him the whole time while he was alive, and I loved his boyfriend too. I mean, they were just wonderful people, and I was so happy they found each other because they really had a nice relationship, really beautiful. I feel very hard for him because it's one thing to pass away, but it's another thing to be the person left behind. I think it's very hard. I love Tori's chats. She's so thorough. All right. Well, thank you for that. Andreas Helderlin. That's right. That's his name. And you can still look and see a lot of his, he started Xenu.net, Xenu.net. And that's kind of an interesting story too, but that's another one I'll tell you a different time. Always lovely to catch alive with Miss Tori. Oh, thank you. That's what Spanky's dog always does. Is he goes like this. Oh, and he rolls over. He puts his little paws like this, like, pet my tummy. It's so funny. Anyway, he does that with everyone. I've watched some of the old videos that you and Stacy and Bob, and I think about how wonderful they were to rescue you from the cult. Well, yep, they were. It was a mutual thing. It's like I helped them, they helped me. It was a good thing all the way around. But I was definitely happy they were there at that time because I really don't know. I don't know what I would have done. There was no, aftermath or SPTV or anything like that. There were, they were it. That was it. But I know me. I would have. I have no idea. But I would have made it one way or the other. Keltology. All right. Keltology. All right. Hello. Thank you for your hearts. All right. Is he still alive? Alaska. Is he still alive? Okay. No, Andreas is not alive. He passed away this year, earlier in the year. He had a brain tumor, and the doctors gave him 2 years, which is awful, but in a way it was kind of good because he really got to say goodbye to everyone that he loved and kind of wrap things up and, finish off. And then he passed away. But I'm sure it's hard for someone like you now to just hear that he's passed away, but he did. He did, and so did Mark Plummer, almost right next to each other. It was really sad because Mark was another huge friend of mine, and so that was a bummer. Tori's badass. That's right. You're an amazing storyteller. Well, that's good. Thank you. Vegas Andrews. I apologize for my throat. Second biggest mouth in LA. Be proud. I know, I was. You know where that came from? That was the Wallersheim trial. Because, see, the Wallersheim trial, they said not one thin dime for Wallersheim. And they gave us all dimes to wear. And we'd be around the courthouse chanting, not one thin dime for Wallersheim, which he won $8 or $80 million. I forget. He won a ton of money. But it took him a long time to win it. But anyway, at the time, he was in the suit. And I was really big on telling people, you got to come downtown. We need more people. Come on, get downtown, get downtown. So at the end of it, OSA, one of the people in OSA said, you want to know how we got all the people downtown? And I said, no, how'd you get them all downtown? And I said, you were it. We surveyed people and said, how did you find out about this? And they all said, Tori. So that's why I say it, only because of that. That was kind of funny. So you'd think, knowing that, when I did wake up and I was going to leave and say nothing, do nothing, make no videos, not picket, and not make videos. And I had called Stacy and said that on this very phone. I said, Stacy, I want you to understand something. I'm not going to picket. I'm not going to make videos, and I'm not going to speak out. I'm just leaving under the radar. That's what I told her. And she said, it's okay. We're only doing for you what we wish someone had done for us when we left the Sea Org. There you go. So if they'd been smart at all, they would have just let me go. I would have gone on my way. I don't know. I would have had a different life. Be a happy seed planter, not a stressed out gardener. Very good. See, that's blow drill. And this guy was in the Sea Org for a long time. I want to interview him sometime. But he has an amazing story himself. Oh, thank you for saying that, because that's right. It's true. Some people are like stressed out gardeners, and it's like, no. Ocean waves. Hello, Miss Tori. Thank you. All right, now this is Moose. Wait. Uh-oh. What happened to Moose? There we go. Moose on the loose. That is a funny nick. It really is. I know that Xenu was some sort of evil galactic ruler or whatever, but do Scientologists think he's good or bad? They think he's bad. Are they scared of him? No. Remember, he's like from a earlier, this is from, with my understanding, and you can go on Xenu.net and read the handwritten thing about it. So I may have it wrong because it's a really whacked out story, but he was an evil warlord on another planet that looked a lot like Earth. And it was overpopulated. So to handle the overpopulation, he decided he'd just kill a bunch of these people. He'd gas them to death. And then their spirits left. And then he set up these electronic strips. It sounds so weird. It's very weird to say to people and be like, I believe that, but I didn't really, but I thought I'm just going to try it. And then I had these big wins, so I thought, okay, it's working. But it's so weird, So he had these electronic strips, and all the spirits glued onto the electronic strips. And then I think, if I remember it right, then they put the electronic strips into these theaters, and now they're in the theaters. And it may have been the other way around. You have to read it and see on Xenu.net. But anyway, then they had all these flashing pictures, and that's where he had the stuff against Jesus, against Christ, against churches, against everything. And, kind of brainwashed them and then let them go. And then they glued on to people here on planet Earth. That's where all your problems come from. See, it's a good thing you came to Tori Magoo 44. Because if you didn't, you'd still think you had problems, when really it's just these BTs and clusters. Now, the sad part is, remember, I nearly died with this same technology twice. So I also nearly died in the Purif. So don't be careful on the Purif. Don't ever do it. My friend, her son got into drugs, and her husband was a Scientologist. She really wasn't. He said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it myself. She locked him in the bathroom and just turned on the shower. I said, what are you doing? She said, I'm doing the Purif. I'm steaming out all this stuff from Scientologists are nuts. They in many different levels, but they're fun. They're really good people. They are. Okay, so did you see that a blind was open? Yeah, I saw that in the blue building. Yep, I did. Somebody was looking out. And that's where I said, remember, if they see us, they're going to say, these 10 people are the only people fighting the Church of Scientology. And people will believe that. Really? They go, yeah, that's it. There's nothing else. Those are the people. That's it. And they're not doing that much of a stink. They're mostly on their cell phones, right? So that was kind of a turning point for those guys, because I said the signs are better, because at least the signs, people driving by can see what you're doing. People walking by can read something and learn something. People might look out the window and see it. It's a good thing. Signs are a good thing. A lot of people don't want to use them because they're on their cell phones, but I think doing both, like I had my little, Scientology Stop Hurting Families. I brought it with me. And I like that one. Frank Oliver made that for me. Good Frank Oliver. I don't know if these other guys, remember those guys came, and then are they still here, Alonzo and those guys? Because anyway, did you see that a blind, okay, there you go. Okay, L. Ron Hubbard was a metal case. That's an understatement. Nattering. Yes, I know. That was the thing Yachty used to always say, if people, they didn't have live video, but they'd read people on ARS and they'd be bitching away about something and he'd say, natter, that's all it is. Natter in Scientology means negative chatter. And nattering only comes from you having bad deeds. If you didn't have bad deeds, you wouldn't be nattering, right? So that's their whole, like, you can never really say anything negative, because if you do, then you've got the ovaries. Okay, so blow drill, nobody's going to hit the thumbs down on Tory. You don't know that. He might. Don't egg him on. But thank you. I appreciate that, Kendra. I think you're right. We'll come after him if they do. All right, so those are cute, those little ones, Liz. PayPal. Okay, thank you for letting me know about PayPal. Yeah. Was the skipper on Gilligan's Island supposed to I have no idea. I never watched Gilligan's Island, so I don't know. Did you ever get used to all that pain in your heart? Now, what pain is this? I'm always curious, where people get these things that are just odd comments. I have never talked about pain in my heart. Well, I did talk about crying for two years. So if that's what you mean, I did get over it. But and that was just from losing Harold. That was it. I cried for 2 years. Every time I'd walk into some haunt, a restaurant we ate at, a store we used to shop in, whatever, I just burst out crying. And so I set up, this is a good idea for anybody new that's out. I set up, or if you're new to anything where you're all by yourself, I set up what I called a meltdown committee, because I was melting down. I would literally just burst out crying and melt down. So I set up my meltdown committee of 4 people, and they were all people that they were ex-Scientologists. They knew the drill. And I said, look, if I call you, well, one of them wasn't. I think one was just a critic, but they were really compassionate. And I said, if I call you, help me through it. And man, I'm telling you, those people helped me. Oh my God, it really helped. It really helped. Way more than Xenu. All right, so let's see. I don't think so. They don't know about Xenu. Okay, what's a clear? Google it. And you'll find out. A clear is a person, I said, without a reactive mind. Hubbard says you have an analytical mind and a reactive mind. And the clear, you're supposedly able to erase your reactive mind. So now you're just very logical, right? Is that true? No. I mean, do you have a subconscious mind? Yes. Is that similar to a reactive mind? It could be. It stores all kinds of images and things. But is there really such a thing as clear? In my opinion, no, there isn't. Per L. Ron Hubbard's original definition, no, because it's a perfect memory, perfect IQ, no somatics, and no pains. Do you know anybody like that? No. And neither does anybody else. But I know plenty of people who say they're clear, because Hubbard kept changing the definition because that was too much, right? So then he'd say, okay, it's just on a first dynamic basis. Well, what does that mean? First dynamic is survival through self. So it's like you could have a fucked up family or a fucked up group, or the earth could be fucked up. Do you see what I mean? In this sense, all these other things could be happening. But your first dynamic would be perfect memory, perfect IQ, no somatics, no pains. And I still don't know anybody with that, even with the first dynamic. I don't. So for me, it's just a bullshit concept. But that's what clear is to me. You can look it up and do more research on it, because there's plenty of people that'll tell you about it. I don't think so. They don't know about Xenu. No, they definitely don't know about Xenu. No, they must be on the bridge to know that. Yeah, you have to. Well, not really. I mean, there's a lot of people now that know about Xenu that were never on the bridge. So it's a lot cheaper to do the bridge outside of the Church of Scientology. That's the other thing. I mean, if you really wanted to do it, you can do it outside. It's a lot cheaper than it is in Scientology. Ha ha, I told you Scientology for years. You're charging too much. I think you don't learn about Xenu until level OT3. It's not or 4. It's level 3 is Xenu. That's where you learn about it. And that's from Kyla. Okay, so Jojo, I mocked it up. That's right. Mocking up means you created it, right? And that's your realization for clear. Oh, I'm just creating these images of this and that and my pains and all this stuff, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. Okay, would you like the test to clear? And you're thinking, that's fucking it? I could have said that, a year ago. Anyway, that's the way it is. Until, let's see, Adam. Okay, until Xenu appears, I think most Scientologists can rationalize that they're just in a self-help. Yeah, I think you're right. They don't know about Xenu and would probably rather not know. Yeah, I think you're right. I do. I really do. And I've told Miscavige online for years. I think if you took away the religious status, because they're not a religion, they don't have any faith, they don't have any belief in anything, they're full of shit. So take away the religion, take away all the OT levels because they don't work and they cost a lot of money. And just do the lower bridge. Like you're saying, it's kind of a self-improvement thing. And they are like little things that you can do. It's sort of like talk therapy. And you sit down with someone, you do it, it's affordable. And I think they would be one of the biggest self-improvement things in the world. I do, if they did that. And got rid of all the mean things, all the bad things that they do, all the human rights violations, everything. And got rid of the Sea Org, because the Sea Org is a violation in itself. Just a billion-year contract by itself alone is very, very dangerous and creepy. So they have to get rid of the Sea Org, the upper bridge, saying they're a religion, and all the abuses and front groups that pretend to be helping someone, and they're not. They're not. Let's face it, Way to Happiness isn't helping anybody. Narcanon, most of them do drugs that are in Narcanon, which is their drug thing. Criminon is in the prisons. That doesn't help anybody. Applied Scholastics, Study Tech, hello, they can do without that. So it's like their front group. And now they have other ones. And I want you guys to keep looking around. And if you see front groups that are based on L. Ron Hubbard's tech, that's what I always say. Because if you say you're a Scientologist, they'll say no. But if you say, do you use L. Ron Hubbard's management tech by any chance? And they go, oh, definitely. Okay, good. Well, I can't work here. Why not? Because I'm a declared suppressive person. That's what happens when I used to go get a job. I'd always ask them that. What are your crimes? Yeah, exactly. You tell me yours first. Question. How did you react when you learned about Xenu? Okay, you have to re-listen to this because I explained it completely. And I'm not going to explain it again. So you just have to re-listen to it after I post this, and then you can see. But, I told it in detail. You're never wrong, Tori. So true. Sure, that's a good one. Very cute. No, you're never wrong. I love him. He's one of the best dads in the world. He is. That's a secret. I let it go, but it's true. You are. Okay, so now let's see. Blow drill. For some reason I thought it was a male. He is a male. Who's a male? He is a male. He's a dad. John something? No, John was my roommate who lived here for 7 years and then passed away. But he was here for a long time. Okay, good evening, friends. Hi, Martha. Wow, we've been on for a while. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry I'm keeping you guys. All right, so is there anything else? Does anybody have any questions? Because I should probably wrap this up and you guys got to go eat. They put an erupting volcano into a crummy Dianetics TV ad and onto the propaganda book covers early in the Miscavige era. Now, they had them way before that. They really don't know how to do subtlety, do they? That was Hubbard. The volcanoes were Hubbard, way before Miscavige, just so you know. I think Sonia couldn't remember Hubbard's tie pattern. Okay, I guess they're talking to each other. All right, it's mind-blowing how many people fell and still fall for something that doesn't even exist. It's all meaningless. Thanks for sharing, Tori. You're welcome. And not that many people do anymore. I mean, Miscavige made the biggest mistake. This is my opinion, but the biggest, remember it's a triangle, right? And he flipped it. So now it goes like this, right? And what's up here? What's at the, this used to be the tech. Remember, it was like Xenu and all that stuff, and it still is. But now he flipped it, so this is all management, upper management, middle management, and they call it the command channels of Scientology. And I remember reading it and going, "What?" And it was like, and down here was like Class 5 org, missions. It was just like nothing. It used to be the other way where it was like, most of the bridge was people going up the bridge and then the top OT levels. But anyway, I forget what you asked that asked me that. I think Sonia couldn't remember Hubbard's tie pattern. Okay. It's mind blowing how many people. Yeah, I know. All right. So Guy Fawkes. So proud of the squirrels. If we had the squirrels during the Project Technology, I know, if, we would have brought Scientology down. We never forgave, we never forgot. I still say, and I always acknowledge Anonymous, because Leah would have never happened without Anonymous, Leah and Mike. That's my opinion, but I think it's true, because I was getting interviewed before Anonymous, and they would put 90% of it was Tom Cruise, and they'd have a few minutes of it was me. And it was always when I looked the worst, that's what they put on. It was really awful. So then once Anonymous hit, the whole Truman Show cracked open. And the media, Nightline wanted to do a thing with it, and major media wanted to interview and find out our side. So it was a big, big deal. And they will always hold that status, because the media without Anonymous would have never happened. It just would have never happened. They're still fearful of them, but it wouldn't have happened. And these live streamers, yes, it would have been better, but I don't know that it would have brought down the church. I just don't. I think now is enough time. And Leah did do the whole thing, 2 years, Leah and Mike, with all the kids that were born in it. So people are way more educated now than they were then. I mean, back then it was still sort of like they're a religion, and I was out on the street talking to people all the time, and they were like, "Why are you picking on this religion?" Well, they don't have that anymore. Now you say, all the time. I was there the other night protesting, and I just say, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Are you a Scientologist?" And they go, "God, no." Almost every person. I mean, it was amazing. It really was. So it's a big change in things. And so now the live streamers are, it's a different thing. I think it would have helped, but I think Anonymous did a fabulous job. I mean, they couldn't have done better as far as I'm concerned. Nothing. I mean, I don't think their goal was ever to bring down the church. First of all, if all of Anonymous had jumped in on the bandwagon, that might have happened. But as far as the Chenology thing, it wouldn't have brought down the church, even if you had live stream back then, because there weren't enough people educated. But now, because of Leah and Mike and us and everybody else who's kept educating them, now they know. People know. No, Scientology, no, I'm not interested. Most people. How many Sea Org members know if they leave, they will have a freeloader's debt? I think they all know that that's part of it. But the problem is you never think you're going to leave. Like I never, I mean, I don't have a freeloader's debt because I'm not in the Sea Org, but I did lose my husband and all of my 30-year friends. And, it's one of those things where, did I know about it? I did, but once you wake up, it's sort of like, can I go back and still support that, knowing what I know? No, I can't. That's just the way it is. So, how many so I think they know. I think they know about the freeloader debt. It doesn't hit home until you actually leave. That's what I think. And Blow Drill, you can answer it if there's more. Here we go. All of them. Martha Simmons. Okay, so they all know. That's what Blow Drill said, and he was in the Sea Org for a long, long time. Okay, question. The other day, when Chris Confidence was filming at Blue Building, on one of the floors, the blind curtains were pulled back, and you could see a bunk beds in one of the rooms. A cry for help? I have no idea. I have no idea. What are we going to do? Blast in there and say, we're coming to get her because she opened her curtain. It's like, I have no idea. It could be. It could be. It's not impossible, but it's not impossible. They need some air in the room. Adam, follow a bunch of people or just be interested. What the hell's going on outside? They get curious. Follow a bunch of people. Learning about Xenu would be an amazing comedy. A pack of lies. It's true. It would be a good comedy. All right. Now, Alaska. Okay. She's talking to somebody else. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm going to wrap this up. Jojo. The sad part is people died when they stop their meds because they think auditing works. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't because of my mom. Thank God she saved my life. Okay. All right. Here's a question. Wait a minute. Ooh. I don't know. I got out of my Tori. You'll never get through the chat because people just love conversing with you. I know. I'm sorry. I need to figure out a time. All right. So let's do 7:30. We'll end. That's in about 20 minutes. So if not sooner. All right. So Barney Taylor. Hey Tori, I always say I'm too old to grow up from the UK. All right. You're too old to grow up. Yeah. Of course. We all are. That's a given. So that's you're correct on that. All right, here's a question. Does your ex-husband speak with your son? You know what? That's not my business. So I speak with my son. And I'm not going to say anything more than that. That's it. I speak with my son. I'm very thankful that I get to be in touch with him. He's a wonderful guy. He's out of Scientology. And what he does with his dad is his business. And I made that deal with him early on. It's like you have every right to talk to him. I hope he does. I hope he is. Because I think it's a good thing. I totally 1,000% am against disconnection. I really am. But I don't know. I love that you're out there with these young protesters. Me too. You relate to them, and they seem to have a lot of care for you. I know they're so sweet. I mean, it's honestly, I just can't believe how sweet they are. They're really nice people. I mean, really nice people. And DOA, that was so sweet when we got the swatting. I mean, I didn't get it. I'd watched all these videos of all these people being swatted. I was on the thing with Jessica when she was handcuffed. I was like, Jessica, drive away, drive away. But she couldn't. It turned out it was a dead end street. But anyway, I see the helicopter coming down, and the next thing you know, she's handcuffed, and her mother's having a heart attack. And I don't blame her. I mean, it's like, it's your daughter, for God's sakes. But she got through it. She knows Jessica, and she got through it. But it was amazing when it happened for me. I see the helicopter come, and he goes, "It's happening," and I'm like, "No way!" I just thought, "No way! This can't possibly be a real thing." No. And sure enough, he goes, "Tori, get up. I don't want to see you handcuffed. Get up, get in the car." So I get in the car, and I'm just, it's all so fast and loud, and the helicopters are low. So it's like really, really loud. And all of a sudden I look ahead of me, I'm in my car, and I see it's DOA getting handcuffed. And I think, all right, that's it. No, I can't let that happen. So I drive up my car. And because I have an old car, I have John's old car he gave me, and it has roll-up windows. So I can't press a button and roll it down and say, "Hey, I want to talk to you." So I just go like this, "You, me, like, come talk to me." I didn't realize I had on the radio. And this policeman goes like this, "No, no, drive on, drive on." It was really funny. I just totally forgot. I thought he's probably Catholic. He thinks I'm really the devil. Anyway, it was very funny. Was Arthur not aware that you were born before his dad invented Clear? No, his dad was working on Clear. That's what because I was born in 47. But he said his dad was working on it early on. So that was his understanding of it. So it didn't come out in a book until 50. but he was working on it. And I was one of the people he was working on. That was Arthur Hubbard's thing. And I thought, yeah, that works for me. I thought so until they invalidated it. They ended up invalidating it in Scientology. If Tori ever throws a phone at me, I'd feel honored. It would be like having Richard telling me to shut up. Gee, that was so funny that night. What happened is, if you missed it, and you've got to put up the little thing because she made a little thing about it that's very funny. But DOA was kind of asking me, he's asking everybody 10 questions. So he was asking me the 10 questions. And generally, nobody calls. But of course, that night, I get 3 calls, right? 1 call, I hang up. Another call, I hang up. It's the 3rd call, and I take the phone and I just threw it out in the hall. And I guess it looked really funny because she made a really funny, I think a meme. Is that what you call it? A meme? Anyway, she made a thing about it. It was very cute. Hello. Tori addresses it earlier. Yeah, on the stream. Harold hasn't spoken to her once in more than 2 decades since they've gotten divorced. He can't. See, if he speaks to me, he'll be declared suppressive. So that's how Scientology works. Did you have to do the Purif? Yep, I had to do it. It was awful. I nearly died on it because I think of my medicine that I take. It was very dangerous, very bad. I would never do it again. And I never promote it to people either. And this other lady I know went blind on it. She had diabetes and she's blind. And I saw her at a picnic. I said, Carrie, I knew she could hear me. And I said, Carrie. And there she was with her little stick going along, still a Scientologist. I thought, wow. I don't think I could go blind and stay with that group, knowing that technology turned me blind. That's just gross. What was one of the first fun things you did when you got out that you weren't allowed to do in the cult? Okay, this is going to sound really weird, but I'd made a policy when I woke up, whatever anybody invites me to, I'm going to do it. I think the very first thing, that you weren't allowed to do in the cult. I think the very first thing that was really fun, I'm not going to tell you the other thing because never mind, it's too kooky. But the very first thing was when I was with Greg Barnes and his wife and Peter Alexander. And all 3 of us, and Mark Bunker was there. And we were sharing these stories about our OT levels. And each of us had done different things. I didn't have the FPRD on OT7. This one guy did. And I said, I never had that. And we all had different things. So that's when I said to Bunker, turn on the camera. And it's called OTs Speaking Freely. It's still on the internet. You can find it. But it's amazing. It's like all 4 of us sharing these stories. Now, that doesn't sound like that exciting to you guys. But believe me, when you're in a cult where you cannot ever talk about anything confidential, certainly not these OT levels. Like I mentioned the word, I was working for a lady. I was in her apartment, in her bathroom, just talking to her. She's like combing her hair. And I say BT. I forget what I was mentioning about it. And she wrote me up. She sat down and wrote up a whole knowledge report on me. They kicked me off of OT7. That's it. Back to ethics. You're in the lowest condition. You mentioned it outside of session. You're never allowed to do that. So they're very tricky on it. So now, anyway, it was very fun to sit around with other OTs and share stories and talk about it. It was like really fun. But I did a lot of things that were really fun. I mean, because I had this policy, whatever anybody invites me to, I'm going. So I've been to some of the craziest things that honestly I would never, ever go. I just wouldn't go. But because that was my policy, I went. And I ended up having some wonderful times. So anyway, I still have it. Let's see. Okay. And now Scientology would go. This is Alexa. And now Scientology would go on, I'd imagine, without a shred of decency or compassion and say, see, this Uber SP, Andreas was gay, 1.1 on the tone scale, and now he's dead. Well, I'm gay too. I mean, I'm not gay, but I'm 1-1. I'm equal to the gays because he said in Science of Survival, anyone with a neurological illness, which guess what? Epilepsy is, and anyone homosexual are both 1-1. So I used to always say I'm in the same category as they are. What's the difference? And now he's dead. You're right. It's like, of course, they don't die. They die all the fucking time. There's more people that are dead in Scientology than you can even imagine. I mean, it's just frightening. Anyway, Cincinnati Diane, hi. All right, let me see. I'm late, but it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you too. Alaska, it's sickening. It is. Okay, Heidi's Mind. I have seen your old videos and seen your face light up with love when you spoke about Andreas. Still brings me so much joy. I know. I mean, he's just such an incredibly caring, loving person. I put a video on Facebook recently of him. He flew here and now we're protesting. And Joel Phillips, who works with OSA as a volunteer and used to work for me as a volunteer, comes out to handle Andreas. And it is the greatest thing to hear Andreas. I mean, he is just smooth as silk. He talks to him, he's nice to him, he answers his questions, he never distracts off of anything, he answers another question. At the end, they both shake hands. I'd never seen that before, ever. I mean, it was really outstanding. And that's Andreas. I mean, he's a wonderful person. And he always will be. He'll always be in my heart, forever. That's just the way it is. I have a little thing I sent to him before he passed away. And this is it. And it says, your heart is my pillow. See? It's just a little thing. There. And then this is it on the back. You can see it. I don't know if you can read it. Your heart is my pillow. Anyway, he's always. This is an amazing story about Andreas because you mentioned him. This guy helps me, right? I hardly know him. I certainly have never met him. I haven't talked to him, anything, but he helped me so much. And now I wake up. So I send him an email. Now, I've been married for 26 years at the time. I'd never, ever even had this thought, let alone ask my husband this. But I asked Andreas this. Dear Andreas, would you mind if I just come sit in your heart for a while? And he said, you're welcome anytime. And it still makes me cry. It's just like, it was so sweet. And it was just like, I have a thing, IYH. And I have put it all over the internet. You'll find IYH in your heart. Near Andreas, where like they had a thing with Earthlink, where they had a whole thing with the planet Earth, and people were writing stuff on planet Earth, and I put IYH. I got it on there. So anyway, it's my own personal thing with him, but it was very sweet that I could go there and just kind of sit in his heart and be somewhere safe. It's interesting that I think people need a place like that. It's like a safe place that, when you're going through this much shit, you need a place like that. Okay, here's a couple more questions. Okay, so we got the thing with Harold. Question, did you have to do the peer review? I answered that. What was one of the first? Okay, I told you that. And now Scientology would go on. Okay, yeah, we did that. Hi, Tori. I'm late. Yeah. Oh, God, I'm really moving along. All right. Okay, I've seen. Yeah, we already did that. Blow drill. You're so wise. Well, thank you. I work on it. I mean, it's an evolution. It really is. It's an evolution to learn these things. But I'm constantly reading and learning, and that's it. Blow drill, you are so wise. Oh, I see you're saying it about blow drill. He is. He's very wise. He is a very wise person and nice, too. He's a really nice person. You're lucky to know him. That's the way I feel. Still can't wait for blow drill story. Me, too. I mean, all I have to do is figure out how to do the split screen thing, and then I can interview him. But you know what? I've asked like 4 or 5 people, and I still haven't gotten it. So hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I do, because I want to interview him. Okay. Dylan, very kind and sweet storyteller, very compassionate. He is. Could Xenu be a lady? I never thought of Xenu as a lady. What do you think? I guess. Yeah, I guess. I don't think, I don't think a lady would atom bomb all these people and blow them up because they're overpopulated. I just don't. I don't think so. Maybe they would, but I think it's more of a chance of some weirdo guy. Not that all guys are weird. There's a lot of great guys, but I don't know. It's just like war. I think if women took over, we would end war because women are mothers and we don't want our kids to get killed. And so I think we would go to other countries and go, do you want your kids to get killed? No. But we don't want our kids to get killed either. So can we just make a pact? That's it. You keep this. We'll keep that. That's it. We're done. Get rid of all this fucking shit, all these bombs, all this other stuff. That's it. You get rid of all your shit. That's it. Let's take the money. You feed the people that are homeless. We'll feed the people that are homeless. That's it. There we go. Now we don't have any homeless people. You know what I mean? It's just sort of like that's how women are. It's like you just got to get it together and get it done. Well, there's red tape. There wouldn't be red tape with women. If we got rid of all the guys and put a bunch of women and especially mothers in office, red tape out. I don't care if they voted it in. They're out. Guess what? They're out for 10 years. We got 10 years to get it together. And then if we can't get it together, they can have it back, create all their red tape that they want. But they've had this country for many, many years, and it's not doing great. And it's not doing great because of so and so or so and so. It's not doing great because of all this bullshit. And it starts, the basic on it is the money that goes to these wars that kill people that mothers give birth to. So I say, get rid of the guys for a while. They can run the houses, and we'll run the country, and we'll get it fixed up. I mean, how long would it take to get people fed? In a week, everybody'd be at least fed, at least, because we'd go to the places where all these restaurants throw out food every day. Oh yeah, we didn't have any it's extra stuff, throw it out. No, give it to us. We're going to give it to the people. They're going to eat it. That's it. It's just that's the way I am. Don't get me started on it. All right, so let's see. But Xenu could be a lady. That's true. I can't wait to hear Blow Drill's story too. I know, me too. I'm the same. I feel exactly the same. Blow Drill told some of his story on Aaron's channel a few years ago. Okay, well, he's going to tell it on here. That's it. You're good, Tori. It is funny. Okay, good. All right. It's funny. Aleska. I'm going to have to scroll through and find it. Okay. Oh, I got you. You guys are talking about something. Okay, so that's a good point. If I hit send, then do you guys have access to the different comments, or should I wait a while so you can scroll through? Thank you so much for the answer. Also, don't worry. I don't think anyone will be doing the purification rundown. I think you're right. Scientology pretty much took away your short-term memory, but you've been holding them to account for almost 25 years now. Bullies never, that's more than 25 years. That started in 72. So you do the math on that. That's when that happened, 1972. And now we're in 2024. It's a long time. Now my friends can't remember anything, and I'm like, welcome to my world. I know it. Bullies never win in the end. I firmly believe that. I agree. I mean, I'm a survivor. I'm not like whoever said, "Oh, you're broken heart." I mean, I did have a broken heart because of my husband, but that was for 2 years. And I don't believe in a broken heart because my grandfather used to always say, "Hearts of oak," like keep your heart strong. So I didn't have a broken heart, but I was very sad. I was, and it was really a bummer. It just was. But that's the way it is. You move on. I got rid of everything that had to do with him. Everything. This out. Bed, get a new bed. That's it. Because I had to, because everything was reminding me of him. And he's not around. I hope that the guy that escaped last week and got a phone number for help from DOA really made his escape. Wish there was a way to follow up on them. Yep, me too. Which means Osa matters all the time. Then since they do a lot of negative talk. Okay, yeah. Good evening from Toronto. Good evening. Don't higher levels after clear. Tell them, I lost a thing. Uh-oh. I don't know how to get up there. Wait, here we go. Don't the higher levels after clear tell them that there is no reactive mind? No. Remember, with clear, you are erasing your reactive mind. And in Scientology, you cannot discuss anything. So no one is going to be telling you anything about anything. You're going to read it, drill it, do it. That's it. Nobody's going to be telling you something. So no, after clear, don't the higher levels tell them that there is no reactive mind? No, they don't know that. What we're saying to you, they don't know. The thing of, I realized I'm just creating my own reactive mind. No one knows that in the Church of Scientology. They can't share that piece of information. They might have that realization, and the person that's there would say, would you like to attest it clear? And they attest, and they go, torychristman is now clear, Tory Bazazian then. Hey, everybody's like, hey, but you don't really know. You don't go, well, I realized I was just creating my own reactive mind. You can't say that because it's a confidential top secret realization. So no one is talking about it at all. No, about anything. They're not talking about Xenu. You are not allowed. One of these days, I'm going to make a video about going into the OT7 course room. I've done it before, but it's outstanding. I mean, it's just amazing. It really is. When you realize these guys are fucking nuts. I mean, I'll just tell you one thing, and then that's all. We're going into the OT7 course room, and it's a big ordeal, which I'm going to tell you about soon. I'm going to put it on my list. But there's a guy, I can see him out the door. He's an old man, and he was on OT7, and he's got a rope around his wrist because you had to keep your briefcase somehow attached to your wrist. So no one could ever lose, God forbid, this top secret information. So here's the guy with a rope, and he's outside, he's smoking. And, he's just an old guy. He doesn't have any friends there because most of us are younger. So I go out and I go, hey, man, how you doing? And he goes, well, let's just say this. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. It cracked me up. It was so funny. It's like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That was like one of the best lines I ever heard on OT7. All right. Is there anyone in Scientology that has something like food allergies? Sure. How do they handle it? They think they can fix it. Probably. Yeah, they probably think with auditing they can, but it isn't like that's just like a food allergy. It's just like I'm allergic to this. Somehow they go along with certain, they have a way of going along with certain things. As long as you have money and you can pay for it, come on in. Or if you're in the Sea Org, come on in. You can hold this post. Oh, you're allergic to that? Okay, well, then we'll have you hold this other post. There you go. And a post is a job. If you didn't experience pain in your heart, you are a very strong woman. Well, I didn't experience pain in my heart because my grandfather was always hearts of oak, no matter what. But I did experience sadness and grief and loss. And that's why I set up the Meltdown Committee. And they helped me through it for 2 years. It took me a long time. My opinion was that all SPs would have a lot of pain because of the mental abuse. No. I mean, I can't speak for all SPs, but everyone I know, they're pretty happy. I mean, I'm not quite sure what mental abuse you're referring to, because I never considered it mental abuse. I mean, it's maybe, I don't know, Blow Drill, are you still here? Did you think it was mental abuse? It might have been for the Sea Org. I can't speak for them. But for me, I never considered it mental abuse. I just didn't. I mean, mental abuse is a different thing. Now, this is mind control, that, and you could say you had pain from mind control, but I didn't. It was just sort of like this thing that you're agreeing to and you're going along with, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, this doesn't really add up. And it takes a little while because you can't talk to anybody, so you're kind of trying to piece together these pieces. I told you, I've had parties for 14 years. When I first left, the first 14 years, every month I had a party. And people would come, and more people would come, and more people would come. And a lot of these people ran the church, and they'd get together and be like, I was in this room, you were in that room. What were you doing in this room? Because I was doing this. You know what I mean? And it's like they're still, to this day, we get together and compare notes on shit. It's kind of amazing. It really is. Okay, if you didn't experience, okay, so there was that. Apparently, it was wrong. No, no, no. Don't feel justice. Don't feel like it was wrong. I'm just saying it was. If your question was surprising to me, that was all, because I didn't remember saying that I had pain in my heart, but maybe I did, because I did say the thing. I don't think I did in this particular one, but and that helps if you go. In another video you mentioned that your husband left you and you got divorced, and for 2 years you were experiencing pain, or grief. It wasn't really pain, because pain is different for me. Like seizures are pain. That's pain, but that's from us. Like my mother said, that's not psychosomatic, Tori. That's a physical illness, and you need medication for it. And I take it to this day. That's it. And I've had Scientologists call me up and say, "You're not still on that medication, are you?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It's just unbelievable. It's like, don't get me started. Okay, is David Miscavige clear? Yeah, he's OT. He's, per him, but is he really clear? No, for the definition. If this Xenu guy ever does show up, we're going to be in trouble. Not really. It's just a bunch of shit. It's like saying you're in trouble if this guy shows up. Really? Really? You'd be in trouble? Come on. Okay. Same, and I'm glad I caught a live with you. Thank you. Me too, Jojo. Hello, Miss Tori. Always a joy to see you. Holly Lewis. Hi. And here's Pittsburgh girl. Hi, Tori. Hi. All right. So here's a question. I got to answer, I think, 2 more questions, and then I got to go. Okay. So here's a question. Thank you. Legend, hilarious. Interview with, I don't know who that is. Okay. You guys are talking together. Let me see. Public Scientologists have a different experience than those in the series. Yeah, I've been talking about that for over an hour. Did you ever meet DM? Yep, I did, and I talked about that before in earlier videos. He's a jerk. That's all I'll say. Hi, Tori baby. Grrr. Okay, hi. Joining the Sea Org is like joining the clergy of the Catholic Church. That's sort of correct, I think. And if any ex-Sea Org are here, I kind of think it is. It's like that. Hello, Tori. What was a time in auditing where you're like, oh my God, this is fucking insane? I don't think I ever had a time like that. It's like, that's why I was telling I was telling Lovett today that, there's certain things I hear and I just think, I never experienced that. Now, maybe other people did. I'm not saying they didn't, but I never experienced auditing as insane. What was insane for me was the IAS, because my best friend would say, okay, it's a top secret briefing, you've got to come. And I'd get in there, and then they'd be like, all right, something's happened with the church, and everybody has to write a check for $2,000 right now. And I'd look at her like, you fucking witch. I hate regging. And anyway, it would really piss me off. And that kind of thing was insane to me. And I told her that. I said, don't ever do that to me again. If you ever do, I'm just going to get up and walk out. I don't care what the ramifications are. You promised me there wasn't going to be any, and then there are. So that's on you. That's not on me. If I walk out and they're pissed off, you're the one going to ethics. So you know that. So when you say, no, there isn't, there better not be. And don't say, oh, I didn't know it. No, you know it ahead of time. Okay, Guru Tori. All right, thank you for the why. Thank you. Hey, Tori, thank you for the correction. The correction. What was a time in auditing? Okay, so that's my answer for it. I hope that helps. So JoJo, Scientology is the type of religion, which it isn't a religion, it's a cult, that would tell the diabetic to quit their insulin. That's true, and stop dieting. A diabetic to quit. I don't know what that is. Some stuff and stop dieting. Okay, yeah, they're very medically abusive. It's awful. Just before I sent chat here. Oh, he's talking to JoJo. Okay, so you guys are talking together. Love to see you always. Thank you for sharing. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Here's one more question, and then that's it. How big a leap is OT7 to 8? And can you tell us something significant you learned on OT7? No. OT7 is just more of OT3. And what my friend told me finally, because I never had a win on OT7 ever. And he said, and I was talking to him about it, and he said, yeah, but you had big wins on OT3, you thought, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, that's what happened. You got rid of all the BTs, and OT4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all repairing people who didn't get a win on OT3. There you go. So I didn't really have any wins on OT7, and I told them that. They came to film me, and they said, we want your wins for OT7. I said, okay. Listen to me carefully. I don't have one win for OT7, not one. No. Because Barry Klein lied to me about what OT7 was. And he kept saying he was healing people, and that's what OT7 is. And he healed another person, and that's what OT7 is. So I thought, okay, so you learn how to heal people. Great. That'll be great. And then when I got the pack, and it was just more OT3 shit, I said, where's the Barry Klein rundown? And they said, pardon me? And I said, where's the Barry Klein rundown? And they sent me up to cramming to correction. And they took me in this top secret room. And she said, here's the pack. Here's the pack. And, there's like 3 lines on it. That's OT7. That's it. Whatever these other people put into it, that's their thing. But that's not part of the tech. So there you go. I remember you mentioning your massive weight gain. Yeah, I was 100 pounds overweight. I was already probably 50 pounds overweight when I got on it, and I gained another 50. It was awful. Good night, Tori. Maybe reach out to Claire Headley. I already did an interview with her to help to split. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Someone coming over would be easier. Someone's coming here, someone's coming here, and they can show me. We can do it. It'll be easier there. But Claire might be able to help me too. Thank you. Yeah. All right. You are welcome, everyone, for the video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you have a wonderful night. And I'm sorry it was so long, but we ended up with 312 likes. That's pretty good. There's only 152 people in here, so I like that. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, you're welcome. And I'm glad you liked the live stream. I do too. I really liked it. I like it. I like the interaction with you guys. I really do. I love it. I love you guys. And I thank you for coming here. I really do. I really, really greatly appreciate it. So good night. Cheerio. And thank you for coming again. All right, now I got to remember how to, end stream. I feel like such a dork. It's like, let's see, how do I end stream? And you see this big red box, end stream. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. All right, there you go. Bye, guys.